Why are you running for candidate for Red Deer Lacombe?
I think for two basic reasons. Over the last 10 years, democracy has been undermined. Parliament has been prorogued. Bill C-51 is infringing on personal rights and freedoms. And the power has been concentrated in the Prime Minister's office to the point where democracy is being jeopardized. Secondly, our economy, for whom the Conservatives are supposed to be the experts, is struggling badly. We have had 6 consecutive deficit governments, or deficit budgets, and the government is not helping. They managed to balance the budget this year only by not spending millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on veteran services and social programs. We need to stop our strip and ship mentality and build good value-added jobs at home. We're losing too many jobs offshore, and too many Canadians are being replaced by temporary foreign workers.
Well, proportional representation is becoming an increasingly important issue in Canada. What's your position on proportional representation and why?
I strongly support proportional representation for several reasons. First of all, the Conservative government is enjoying a majority when more than 60% of voters voted against them in the last federal election. They're using their majority status to pass omnibus bills that are stripping environmental protection and not helping create jobs. Further, there are people who vote consistently across the country, for example, like for the Green Party, and the Greens might get 10% of the popular vote, but if they only elect one member, they're getting 0.3% of the seats in the Parliament. By the same token, Conservatives earn a lot of votes in Quebec, and they get no seats from Quebec. And so who's representing the people that are voting for these parties where they're not getting elected?
You know, I went to a local arts venue and I asked a dozen people, what would you ask a candidate if you had the opportunity? And every single person told me that they would ask about the cost of post-secondary education. How would you work to make post-secondary education more accessible to Canadians?
I spent almost 30 years in the post-secondary system as an instructor in the nursing program at Red Deer College and then administering at Grand Prairie Regional College. I also served a 5-year term on the board of the Association of Canadian Community Colleges, and student debt was a huge issue. And there's many reasons for it. First of all, the philosophy of Conservative governments, both provincially and federally, is a user-pay one. They see the beneficiary of a post-secondary education being the graduate. And in fact, it's society that's the beneficiary of our post-secondary system. We have less crime, more taxes paid, better health, less use of social service programs like employment insurance when we have an educated public. And so we have to stop thinking that the graduate is the beneficiary of the post-secondary system and start thinking that society is the beneficiary. Education doesn't cost, it pays. The things we can do to help the students are we can make more grants available, we can change the tax structure. Currently, students can deduct their tuition. We should cap tuition. We should have universities and colleges working more closely together so they're not competing for the same students. And I think we can subsidize co-op and internship programs for graduates of programs. One of the challenges for students, the unemployment rate in the country today is about 6.8%. In youth and young adults, it's double that. Too many people are graduating from post-secondary education unable to get jobs. And so I think the subsidization of co-op and internship programs would help them gain experience.
All right. Bill C-51, we're told it makes us safer, but there's also a lot of people that say it unreasonably restricts our rights. What's your position on C-51 and how would you address it?
I think all Canadians want to be safe, but I think the legislation, Bill C-51, does not protect us against terrorists. By their own admission, the three people killed at the War Memorial in Ottawa and in Quebec would not have been saved by Bill C-51. So I'm arguing that it doesn't protect us any better, and it does infringe on personal rights and freedoms. What I do wonder is, why would we be at risk when our reputation was so impeccable among other countries? And more recently, we've started looking over our shoulder because we're coming under attack. It makes me wonder what our international policies have been lately that make other people view us as an enemy.
One last question. Why do you think the NDP leader, Colin Mulcair, should make a good Prime Minister?
With respect to why Harper wouldn't make a good Prime Minister, is he has shown that he would undermine democracy and keep power in the office of the Prime Minister. He's used that power time and time again to undermine democracy. As far as why Justin Trudeau wouldn't be a good Prime Minister, as charismatic as he may be, he has not yet shown substance, particularly in the area of international foreign affairs. And I think Tom Mulcair is the best leader, most cogent, most collaborative, and listens best to the interests of Canadians. His strings are not pulled by corporate donations, and he is the one who is best qualified to lead the country on behalf of working Canadians.
Thank you very much.